In the boiling heart of summer, Port Charles finds itself at the center of a storm, one not made of weather, but of betrayals, secrets, and emotional reckoning. As the next 2 weeks unfold, what appears to be a routine build-up to a major wedding quickly turns into a collision course of lies, manipulation, and consequences that ripple through nearly every core family. At the center of it all is Drew Kane, whose increasingly visible control over Willow Tate's life begins to unravel as forces from both within and outside his circle close in, intent on exposing the truth. And while the Quartermain estate readies for a union, the rest of Port Charles braces for fracture. Portia Robinson is no stranger to emotional strain, but when she catches wind of Curtis Ashford sharing a moment of tenderness with his ex-wife Jordan Ashford, she feels something twist in her gut, something more primal than jealousy, something closer to panic. For a woman who fought tooth and nail to reconstruct her family, Portia is now staring down the very cracks she swore she had sealed. Curtis' reassurances feel paper-thin, especially as he doubles down on convincing Trina that her budding connection with Kai Taylor isn't as dangerous as it appears. But Trina, now sharper and more observant than ever, knows there's something off about Kai's decision to accept Drew's internship. The timing, the motives, it all smells of something strategic and sinister. Curtis, however, has other plans. If his instincts are right, then Drew's arrogance will be his undoing, and the mysterious Jacinda could be the match that ignites the inferno. Jacinda, with her quiet watchfulness and unnerving ability to get close without being noticed, may just be the perfect candidate to expose what Curtis believes is a calculated assault on multiple families' futures. Drew's ambitions are no longer just about winning, they're about annihilation, and Port Charles is his battlefield. Meanwhile, Nina Reeves can barely hide her desperation. She watches Willow slip further under Drew's influence, agreeing to a wedding that seems more tactical than romantic. Nina's pleas to delay the ceremony fall on deaf ears, with Willow convinced the wedding must occur before the custody hearing to present a unified front. But Nina, ever the survivor of emotional manipulation, sees the same patterns that once nearly destroyed her playing out again in Willow. Determined to stop what she views as another cycle of abuse, Nina makes a shocking alliance, one that even she could not have predicted. It's a partnership built on mutual distrust of Drew and mutual concern for Willow. Together, they begin a campaign to peel back Drew's layers and expose what lies beneath. Unbeknownst to Drew, the walls are already closing in. He receives a piece of information, seemingly innocuous at first, but it triggers something he's been suspecting. He begins to dig. In typical Drew fashion, he's convinced the source of corruption lies in someone else's hands, perhaps Michael Corinthos, perhaps Carly's. But viewers know the truth, it's Jen Sidwell who orchestrated the judge's manipulation in Drew's favor. Still, Drew's paranoia grows, making him more volatile, more reckless, and more dangerous. Michael, still wounded by betrayal and loss, finds himself grappling with a new wave of grief upon learning about the impending wedding. His pleas to Willow to see Drew for who he really is may come too late. Willow, in the grip of both grief and guilt, may not have the clarity or the courage to walk away. Back at the Quartermain estate, Brooklyn is on edge. She catches a glimpse of Geo, her cousin in spirit if not in blood, interacting with Lulu Spencer in a way that raises alarms. Brooklyn, impulsive and protective, explodes. But it's not just Geo's behavior that's bothering her, it's what Lulu represents, a threat to the very foundation Brooklyn is trying to rebuild. With Marco Rios feeding her confidential information about the late Britt Westbourne, Brooklyn begins to weaponize secrets in her escalating war with Lulu. And in doing so, she steps onto a path that could either redeem her or destroy her. Elsewhere, Alexis Davis and Elizabeth Baldwin find themselves on opposite sides of a ticking time bomb. Christina Corinthos Davis is caught in the middle as Liz confesses she wants her role in a recent accident buried. Alexis, who has long walked the line between morality and pragmatism, demands answers that could implicate Rick Lansing and Ava Jerome in a blackmail scheme that could shake the Corinthos family to its core. The legal and personal stakes have never been higher. Amid the chaos, a brief flicker of warmth arises. Jason Morgan and Carly Spencer sit quietly, remembering the innocence of a time when Michael was a child, an age Daisy is fast approaching. Their nostalgia is short-lived. Daisy's baptism, once imagined as a moment of peace and celebration, is quickly overshadowed by a looming threat. For Sonny Corinthos, a man always balancing power with peril, the scales are about to tip. Whether it's an arrest, a targeted assault, or a betrayal from within, something is coming for Sonny, and it may leave the Corinthos clan permanently fractured. As the calendar turns to the week of June 30th to July 4th, the aftermath of the Sonny crisis sends shockwaves through the family. With Sonny potentially facing arrest or destruction, the once stable empire begins to shake. Loyalties will be tested, alliances may be shattered, and those who once followed Sonny without question may now reconsider everything. Meanwhile, Emma Scorpio Drake's innocent attempt to adopt a stray puppy takes a curious turn. Just as she begins to bond with the dog, naming him Outback and dreaming of a future together, someone steps forward to claim him. That someone is Vaughn. But Vaughn's motives aren't sentimental. This encounter is part of a deeper strategy, a calculated effort to insert himself into Emma's life, gain her trust, and perhaps sabotage her covert plans related to Professor Henry Dalton. The dog was never just a dog, it was bait in a larger game of manipulation. And now, the stage is set for what could be the most explosive wedding in recent memory. As Willow prepares to walk down the aisle with Drew, the question on everyone's mind is not will the ceremony happen, but should it? Rumors swirl about a potential last-minute reveal, perhaps from Nina, perhaps from someone unexpected, about Drew's intimate past, or worse, his involvement in criminal activities currently under investigation. A truth bomb, well-placed and well-timed, could derail the event and change everything. In the end, these 2 weeks will not simply mark transitions, they will define the trajectory of every major character's future. Old wounds will resurface, new scars will form, and amidst the chaos, some will rise while others fall. Port Charles is on fire, and no one will escape untouched.